wow, yo, yippee, yay. Pile number 3, guys, and I'm super excited to be with you guys. Today, we're going to dive into, of course, the Series A, then talk about what is happening with the new chat where you could get really back and forth communication the best way possible. Any question could be either asked, upvoted, and make sure that we have a very cool new dialogue, and then we can talk about a bit of the Power Up show that will be lead out. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Frizzell. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Question of the week, Ken Doshan. And by the way, Ken Doshan, I love you. I really love you. You always ask the good questions, the tough questions, and the smart ones. So any update on a new SwissBorg white paper, as the ISO white paper was at least 5 years ago, even a little bit more than that in 2017, I believe. So much has changed. Will we see an update version soon? That is a fantastic question. During the course of Christmas, Anthony and myself, we talked about it. I personally reread it, and I saw that, there's few things that has maybe altered a bit, our vision, and of course, because half a decade is quite a long time. But actually, when you think about it, there are still a lot of things to be built in order to get to that vision. I think so. There's things that we should definitely evolve, these 7 different layers, for example. I think so. There's probably other things that we have to incorporate. The Series A, which is giving value to equity, and how could that play out in the different decentralized world. I think so. The fact that our launchpad is not something we talked about, launchpad, but not about equity. So this is going to have a really big role, how we could endorse different projects, bring different projects, and how we could, with different communities, create a lot of different value within the ecosystem. So there's definitely a lot of things to be added. I'll get back to the question to yourself, guys. What are things potentially that are missing from our first white paper that we should be talking about more often, and obviously building these things? What are, if not, things that we really have to add from the white paper? And maybe the last one is that, of course, we're going to write it, but if we could co-create and co-write it, that would be really cool. And no use of ChatGPT, of course, because we still have to use a lot of our human brains to get to there. And I think so creativity is still not at ChatGPT's best way of foreseeing the future of crypto, Web3, SwissBorg. So that's a great question again, Ken Doshan. Thank you for that. There's definitely things to be added, and I would like to see an updated version. Of course, right now, there's a lot of things being built as we're talking, so this will take time, but why not time to time we could add some new things with that subject. So thank for this. Community something of the week, rating. So, très bien, rapide, précis, clair, encore merci. We get a lot of these ones, which is really good, is how people really enjoy how our app is simple, how things are essentially being answered in the best way possible. And let's look at another one, is that Binance certifies. The issue was not resolved. Un problème lié à votre système de parrainage n'a pas fonctionné. Aucun agent n'a pu reconnaître qu'il s'agit d'une erreur de votre part, une compréhension processus, etc. Ça donne envie de faire reconnaître. So this happens time to time, where essentially people start with referring people, and for whatever reason it doesn't work. Very often is that the people does not use essentially the referral code, and when the person downloads the app, then it's too late. And that's how it is. So sorry about that, but that happens. And last but not least, quick and efficient. Good about the rating. So thanks for this. Community member of the week. It is Zero Aika. I am Zero Aika. Zero Aika has been doing a lot of great stuff. Please follow him on Twitter. As the industry evolves, many new players enter the space. There's exchange, DeFi platforms, game projects, and so on. What if there's only an app that allows you to manage your wealth in the easiest way possible? A breakdown on CHSB. He has been contributing a lot of different tweets, and I think so he's some that are very, very smart. By the way, I love the one that he just did this one, and he took the engine the engine game, lots of lyrics there. So please follow Ziraika, and thank you, Ziraika, for being such a wonderful soldier. Announcement of the week. Here you find a new forum, a forum where people could share insights, could essentially ask questions, things could be upvoted, and another way for people to interact with each other. This is no replacement to Discord, of course. This is no replacement of the Telegram group. This is just another platform that is maybe more user-friendly than the general other platforms. So there'll be some questions here. I just created my own profile recently, so people will be able to ask any questions, and another way to communicate in an easier way. It's a test, of course. If this goes well, we will continue to grow this wonderful way to communicate together. If it doesn't, well, then we'll stick to what we already have. And of course, I'm already a big fan of Twitter, if you guys know, Discord, of course, Telegram, and other ways. So please invite you guys to check this out. The easiest way you want to go there, it is on forum.swissborg.com. You could create your profile in an easy way. You could show your badges and different things that we'll be able to have, which is cool. And essentially, we're going to try to see how this evolves in potentially a real good product itself. And again, this is very, very old new right for now, right? So I'll let you guys create your profile again on forum.swissborg.com, and we'll see how this thing evolves in many ways. I'm very curious about how it's going to evolve, so let's see how it goes. Series A, and I want to say I am super excited about this one today. Let's check out a bit what's happening there. I think so we're close to $8 million, which is quite crazy when you think about it, and close to 10,000 people. 9,300 people have participated so far, which is really, really good. The average is roughly close to 832 francs, and right now we are very close to 8 million. 2 more million, and we get to the 10 million goal for these wonderful cards. Looking forward to this. I want to give you another update regarding the Series A, which is very important, and I want you guys to listen, open your eyes and ears, and make sure we get this through. Some people recently have said that, 500 million valuation, is that a good valuation? Is that a high valuation? That's a low valuation. And when you talk about valuation, there's always multiple different ways, and we talked about this numerous times. So what we said, the best way to get a fair valuation is to create a floating valuation, meaning that whatever happens in the Series A, we will offer 10% or 9.8 or 9.58% of the total raised to the shareholders. So that means right now, so if we are raising, for example, if now we would have raised only 1/4 of this, that means that, let's say, the $11 million, which is a quarter, would get the entire amount of shares behind it. Which means that, which is great, is that you guys have more voting power, you guys get more shares as it is. And essentially, the higher the amount we raise, the higher the valuation becomes. And this, we believe, is the best way for you guys to get the best deal ever. So let's now, there'll be, of course, a blog, and we'll talk about it. But let's say we, for example, raise half of it, okay, 22 million. Instead of having a 500 million valuation, we would then have a 250 million valuation, and therefore you will guys get twice the numerous amount of shares, which is really good. So it gives you more voting power, it gets you more shares, which essentially gets you a much better deal. And like that, like always, you guys that have been helping us since the beginning have the best, essentially, deal. And I think so this is the most beautiful thing that really SwissBorg always tries to bring is to you Borgers, is to create something that's fair, something that's fun, and something that is community centric. And how more fun than this? So right now, the valuation depends on how much we raise. And that will be, and then the day it closes, then essentially we'll see like, okay, we raised, 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100%. And in that case, well, essentially you'll get that same amount of shares. If we raise 100%, if we raise a bit less, well, then in this case, you would get more shares than you essentially subscribe to. So I think so this is something that is really, really interesting that no one has done. And why are we doing this? Because again, we strongly believe that this will give us a chance to get more people to invest and, bring more money into the company that we could really spend and invest in the best way possible to develop a lot of features, a lot of products that could really solve many, many problems. And it's another very good way to really reward the loving people that you are, workers, and to make sure that you always get the best deal. So, if you've been thinking about this a long time, we thought about first, should we do it or not? Then we had to check if this was doable legally and all that in terms of structure. And at the end, it is. So we're very, very excited to be that. There's going to be an official statement. I think so we're going to do a smart cafe around this topic. There's going to be, of course, a blog, an article around this, and maybe I'll cover a little bit more because I know right now you probably have a lot of questions. So anyways, comment here on Twitter. And if not, we will be talking about this very, very soon next week, and through probably a smart cafe, and as well for people that will be in Lyon after tomorrow. Even updates next week at 8 p.m. There's going to be Alex and Benji looking over the collaboration and growth, talking a lot about what's happening with all these crew different NFTs. There's actually a lot of really, really cool things going on. So looking forward to this next Tuesday. The 7 Layers Roadshow, of course, is happening in Lyon on January 19th. This is going to be very, very, very cool. Looking forward. There's still some tickets available if you haven't beat it. And thanks to Nikasi Guillotin that's been helping, of course. There's going to be as well 7 layers in 1 hour on YouTube. We're going to have a really cool show with you guys, interactive as always. There's going to be as well going forward the layer 7 Dubai this time on February 1st in collaboration with Cyber Digital, which is really cool people based in Dubai. So a lot of more events online and offline. Looking forward to see you guys. Charts of the week in data. Let's see the behaviors based on different countries and trying to see what has happened in the fundraising. I think so. This is very, very interesting to see the engagement. So obviously, Switzerland has been one of the strong ones that have strongly essentially participated to the wonderful fundraise. I could see here for now there's a little bit over 3,000 people in Switzerland that have participated. Then in Great Britain, there's been a little bit over 2,500, which is amazing. And then there is 4,000 French people that has been participated. So congratulations, France is actually winning the race. In terms of percentage, though, who have checked the Launchpad, we could see that, again, a lot of people in Switzerland have checked it out. A fair amount of people as well have checked out the Launchpad here in GBP. A lot of people have checked it actually in Germany, in Belgium, and Netherlands. Very highly has done this in Japan too. And then there is some in Italy and Spain. What we're seeing is that a lot of people are still concerned about participating or not. A lot of people are trying to see if this is the good thing for me or not. Is this the right timing as well for me or not? And obviously there's a lot of concerns about the general markets, the fear. Maybe this last 10 days of boost have helped essentially people to get into the markets or not. People don't want obviously to overcommit. They're waiting for essentially CHSB to go to the moon to take potentially some profits there and then maybe to invest. What we're seeing, and a lot of other people, to be honest, have been waiting for information. So obviously, end of December, well, there was the New Year's happening, and then after that, well, then people are on vacation. So now we're getting more and more people to ask us different questions about why they should be investing, what are they getting, why are we doing shares and all of that. So it's a great timing right now to really get back to communicate with a lot of different users and see how people are going to contribute a little bit more and more and more. And you're seeing this is quite similar to AUM, which is meaning that the higher people have AUM, the more chances people have to invest into this Series A, which is quite common sense. Weekly CHSB data. Things have picked up a little bit, 316, so over 80 people more than last week have converted into premium, which is nice. We're getting, by the way, to 39,000, which is quite crazy. Then when we get in CHSB stake, a little bit over under 200 million there, a little bit over 410 million into the CHSB yield. Weekly price, the price has really boosts on the price action, because we see the market has propelled us a lot too. 2.6 million and plus into the protect and choose, and 147,746 people in the app that are holding CHSB tokens, which brings us to the big question of the week. Cast your votes. Is it going to be higher? Is it going to be lower? Fortunately, it is much higher than last week again. Things are going very well. The CHSB hasn't done too well, but overall, people are waking up. People are back from vacation. People are seeing the price action, and therefore a lot of things are growing. Very excited to be these lucky great numbers, and that always the green is a good thing. Another great week, guys. So last week I was at CFC Samurai, and it was beautiful to see how many people really knew well SwissBorg. It was great to catch up with these phenomenal people like Stani from Ave, the guys from HitBTC, lovely people such as the founder of Sandbox, and many other different companies in DeFi and different venture guys. It was really great to see all these lovely people. Shout out to Nicolo, my man, who organized CFC Samurai. So it's really, really, really good. It was very interesting to meet CZ as well. A very interesting person. He's definitely one of the very sharp guys that is in this business. Overall, obviously, there was a lot of talks about how we could, how could SwissBorg could grow, how could SwissBorg could be the referred place in Europe and overseas going forward, how we are bridging the CeFi and the DeFi world, how we are the only one ethical, one of the rare ethical crypto, business and group. And then most people talked about, Cyrus, how do you make that SwissBorg has such a lovely community? I see all these people with these green eyes and all these people that are really loving, and it's just crazy to see how things are different. I had the chance to talk to the main guys at Kraken during a panel, and as well with Anchorage, was as well one of the biggest bank in the States that do DeFi as well, that have that hybrid model that we do. And we talked about how lending, staking, and DeFi was misinterpreted and how it was misused, and how SwissBorg has something very different, how we make it very, transparent, how we make our beautiful community members choose the risk that they want, get the right reward for this, make sure that you are essentially committed for one day or for weeks or for months, and get obviously a different yield based on that, and how essentially we are creating the standards of this wonderful industry. We thought about as well going forward is how would you be able to do uncollateralized loans, and this would go probably very well for platforms that have some social credit to it, like everything was happening on Lens, right? If you do a lot of things more and more in Web3, you'll probably behave in a good way if you're getting a loan, because if you don't do that, if you don't repay your loan, then most probably this would be seen on chain, and therefore people will lose trust in yourself. And I think so these are all different ways to get back to the biggest question of the year and the years to come going forward is how do we build trust? And of course, with you guys, I can't love it more. The fact that we're almost 10,000 people today that are true partners in this wonderful mission, which is to democratize wealth management by making it fun, fair, and community-centric. And for this, we need to get to 20,000. So please, everyone that's listening, try to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. There's this Tesla to be won, but more importantly, there's this civil job to say to your friends that even it's 100 euros, it doesn't matter. This will enable people to get the attention span to say, yes, I want to democratize wealth management. I want to become a burger. I want to build products. I want to invest in my future. I want to be healthy, wealthy, love our CHSV, and now our equity. Take care, guys. Much love.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you 0 fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.